So I want to talk a little bit about stepping into your power as far as making decisions in your life and the use of the word no and why it is so empowering to use it. So I think in general, there's a lot of places that a lot of us kind of naturally, immediately will commit to things in our life that might not be the right decision for us. And there can be so many reasons for that. Human design helps us kind of look at the places where maybe we've been conditioned by others, and that can sometimes help to, or not help, but it can influence our decision making to the external world, when really we have everything that we need inside of us. We have what is called in human design our authority. That is our inner wisdom and decision making that can really guide us to the next step. Is something the right next step for us, or is it not? We have all that information inside of us. And it can really be influenced by others. So that can be by, systems that we've learned from and grew up upon. It can be from other people. It can be from, the kind of need and pressure to feel like we have to prove ourselves, or to show our worth, or to because we should do something in order to be a good person. And all of these things are just stories that we're telling ourselves, and they're coming from our unique experiences and what we take in from the outside world. So reminding ourselves that we can come back to what our authority is. And in your human design chart, you can definitely go deeper in understanding what your unique authority is, what your decision maker is, because it's not going to be the same for every person. It's also not always going to be the same for every single type at all. So definitely keep that in mind. There's many different authorities, and you can learn all about them in a session, or doing some digging of your own on your chart. But one of the main things that I think is so important is to take inventory on some of your decisions. And I think one of the most empowering things that we can do for everyone is just looking at where in our lives have we committed to something, so said yes to something that was really a no. Maybe we knew by our intuition, by our just knowing inside, whether it was from our gut or whether it was some intuitive hit that we had that just told us this isn't the right thing for you, or don't go on that road trip today, it's not going to be safe for you. All these different things that's our intuition speaking to us. We all have that inside. We might just be less connected to it because of conditioning that has happened throughout our lives. It's absolutely something that we can practice. It's absolutely something that we can cultivate. Obviously, it's something that Dana teaches, is a beautiful teacher for really being able to open up and tap into this intuition inside. And when we can look at our lives and say, okay, where did we maybe have this knowing inside, but we weren't empowered to go ahead and trust that. What happened then? Did I commit to maybe a job that ended up being, not the right thing for me, when I kind of knew that in the first place, but stepped into it anyways because maybe my mind was trying to rationalize and make sense and control. So this can absolutely be something we can all, I'm sure, have experiences and reflections around. And I think it's good to just kind of take inventory and make sure that when something is really feeling like a no for you, that you are empowered to step into that, to voice that, and know that when you actually stop committing to things in your life that aren't the right things for you, when you're committing to the no's instead of the yeses, it's gonna kind of take up all of your space. It's gonna take up all of your energy. If you start to take inventory and you can kind of clear some things out, maybe you can take some commitments off your plate that really are things that you don't want to do, you never wanted to do in the first place, and you knew deep inside that wasn't the right thing for you. If there's anything that you can start to eliminate, it's going to create more space in your sphere for more yeses to come your way. More, and when I say yeses, more things that are aligned for you. More of the right invitations, more space for creativity, more things to respond to, more things to delight you and surprise you. So I'm not speaking to any specific human design type right now. This really can apply to everyone. And you could ask, like, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like in the real life? And I can give you an example that happened to me recently, and I feel like this kind of energetic kind of happens to me often when I am empowered to listen to trust my inner intuition and knowing, and when I say no to something that isn't right for me. So I was offered recently a job opportunity for a full-time job. I was interested into it. I thought it over, but I really knew that this wasn't the right thing for me. I wasn't aligned, my values with the company's values. It wasn't aligned. And I immediately kind of felt in my body and my energy that this was going to be something that was an energy suck for me and just wasn't going to be the right thing for the next step in the kind of life I wanted to move forward with. And this is something that I knew. So I said no to this offer. Could I have rationalized a myriad of reasons why I could have taken this potential job? Absolutely. We all can. Our mind can absolutely do that. But I didn't. I stuck with my inner knowing, even though I didn't know what the next step was. So the very next day, I kid you not, the very next day, I had an email in my inbox about this other job opportunity that was, this ongoing freelance job, which was something that was so much more aligned in what I was looking for, with this company that I started to learn about that was just so, dead on with my values. The work excited me, the people excited me, I moved forward with this, and it was and has been an absolute dream. So I think that, because I said no to something, it allowed this space for something to come into my sphere that was so well aligned with me, and honestly something better that I could have even imagined. And the more and more you do that and play with that and are empowered by your self-trust in yourself, the more and more those aligned opportunities are going to come to you. So don't forget to, continue to check in with yourself, to take inventory on, the decisions, the commitments that you have in your life right now. See if you can clear anything out to just create space. And the power of no, when that is the right decision for you, is going to help you to step into your power.